Good morning and happy Friday. It's Ask the Author Friday. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to go after some questions. What is Ask the Author Friday, you ask? As many of you know, I am a fiction author by trade. This is the local author's opportunity to get back to some of his fans, friends, and family. Little Friday fireside chat. Hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for joining me today. Let's get started. Pick your animated weapon. Whew. So many cool weapons in 80s animation, all of them swords. It would probably come down to He-Man's Power Sword, Galtar's Golden Lance, or Thundar's Sun Sword, or Lion-O's Sword of Omens from the Thundercats. Let's nitpick here. Thundar's Sun Sword was very portable. He wore it on his wrist, but it was basically an empty handle until the blade came out. Not always all that useful. Galtar's Golden Lance had something called the Fury of the Golden Lance, where it would fire bolts, but only once the swords were separated. Again, it's a process, especially in battle. He-Man's Power Sword. It's definitely one of the more iconic of the four swords that I mentioned. And I mean, it was the catalyst for the powers of Grayskull. And then it was normally used to deflect bolts or to pry open, or to cut open walls, or pry open something. Only really used as a weapon on things that he knew were non-sentient. Skeletor's robot knights, beasts animated by magic, or created by magic. What have you. I guess the Power Sword's only problem was how easily it was stolen, and that had more to do with Adam messing up, or Orko goofing up, or the one time when Teela lost it, but it's because Adam messed up and revealed it. I gotta go with the Sword of Omens. I mean, and it's probably the one time that Thundercats does trump Masters of the Universe, but I mean, the Sword of Omens was the clarion call for the Thundercats to help Lion-O. And it was mighty powerful in its own right with its own magical bolts. I'm picking the Sword of Omens. Yeah. Best concert I ever attended. It has to be when Loverboy opened for Journey at the oh my goodness, it was in Grand Rapids, at Van Andel Arena back in 2015, I think. 2015, yes. It was a good year. They were originally supposed to come in 2014, and Night Ranger and Loverboy were both supposed to be there with Journey, but Journey's lead singer at the time got sick in November of 2014. They had to move to February 2015, and even if Journey's lead singer was no longer Steve Perry, then, but Journey still needed a vocalist, obviously. And when they moved the concert, Night Ranger was double booked somewhere and couldn't make it. But other than that, great show, great concert. Arnell and Journey still knew exactly what Journey fans wanted to hear, so they played Steve Perry's stuff. They played the stuff that made them famous when Steve Perry was vocalist. Arnell did a great job. Great concert. One concert I wish I had attended. Oh boy. I almost had the chance to go and see the Eagles when they played at Wings Stadium. I think it was 2014. Tickets were a little pricey, so I skipped it, and shortly thereafter Glenn Frey was no longer with us, so I almost had the opportunity to see the full Eagles with all of their original members here in Michigan. I also regret not seeing Def Leppard and ZZ Top back in October of 2020 when they were supposed to come to Van Andel, but something else preempted any concerts that year and left the bands with a decision to make in years thereafter. So to this day, I have not actually seen Def Leppard live in concert. ZZ Top and Def Leppard would have been a great show too, I think. College advice. Alright, hear me out, little freshmen or returning students. Welcome. Welcome back to college. If you're not quite ready for a four-year university yet, a community college can also be a great place to start. I got my start at LMC, moved to Grand Valley. You gotta watch for those pesky credits though. See how many of them will transfer over. I seem to recall losing an entire semester worth of credits when I went to Grand Valley. Yeah, I lost exactly 12 credits, I think, between LMC and Grand Valley. Anyway. You have to make time for both. You have to make time to study and to get serious about classes, and you have to make time to make friends. Especially if you're living on campus, you have to make time to make a community. You never know who you might meet or who some of your best friends might end up being. Maybe for life, maybe for a season. But you can't go all in on making buddies either. You do have to make time to go to classes. You do have to make time to make the grades. And to cement a sense of community. Prime example, I met the fine folks of campus ministry at Grand Valley. They were the perfect community for me. Overall, I mean, Not every club is perfect, filled with all perfect people just for you. I'm sorry to say that. But for the time and for the season, the community of campus ministries at Grand Valley State University was the community that I needed. Suit up, show up, go out there, make a sense of community, and study hard to make the grades. Professor Kent signing off. Whew, that was fun. Thanks for joining me once again for Ask the Author Friday. Be back next week. If you have any questions for me in the next week or for next week's segment, you can comment them down below. I'll see you guys again in another week. Thanks again for your support. Feel free to subscribe if you enjoy this content. Right. College advice. Got any college advice? Okay, listen up. I'm gonna be serious. I'm gonna be serious for a moment. I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah, this has been fun. This is a fun Ask the Author Friday. Thank you. Pick your animated weapon. Sword of protection. It can already turn into basically any weapon that She-Ra needed. Sword to Sun Sword. Sword to Golden Lance. Sword to Sword of Omens. Thundercats. Nah. No. I just... Of course it couldn't turn into... Of course it couldn't turn into any old weapon. This has been fun. This has been Ask the Author Friday.